Welcome to the module on public libraries. I have written 7 units. The first one is on national policy and its role. National policy is the framework basing on which we will be able to organize various systems and services. Value of information in socio-economic development has been maturing over the last few years. These days, information is considered as a basic resource in national development, like the minerals, manpower, etc. Efforts are now being made to collect, collate, store, and disseminate both public and private information. Regulation of information is vital for proper planning, organization, and development. It is in this context governments are planning for evolving a national policy for monitoring, organizing, and making it available to all those who need it. That is, at the right place, at the right time, in a form that is assimilable by the users. Need for a policy. Such a definitive policy will guide the government to evolve systems for free flow of information, decide the nature of funding, establish institutions to organize information systems and services. Policy provides guidelines and evolve cooperation and coordination among numerous organizations and institutions engaged in information activities. A policy also helps in standardizing systems and procedures. Issues for consideration. A policy statement should consider issues like infrastructure development, information services development, use of new technologies for better organization, and manpower development, etc. Policy formulation. Policy formulation should consider establishing a new agency or assigning the job to an existing body. Review all the existing policies, deciding the procedure for policy formulation, finalization of the policy, preparation of the policy manual, circulation of the policy document for comments, and finalization of the policy. National policy for libraries and information. Though many consider the term libraries is inclusive of the concept information and vice versa, there is a vast difference between management of libraries and that of information. It is desired that the national policy should comprehend both libraries and information centers, and they should be dealt separately. While libraries deal with preservation, conservation, and dissemination of information in traditional media, information agencies are concerned with databases, data banks, networks, access to foreign documents, development of information services, pricing, regulation of information activities and services. National policy initiatives in India. The Department of Culture, Government of India, set up a committee on national policy on library and information systems, CONPOLIS, on 7 September 1985, under the chairmanship of Professor D.P. Chattopadhyaya, the then chairman of Rajaram Mohan Rai Library Foundation. This committee submitted its report on 30th May 1986. Indian Library Association also prepared its version of the national policy and published the same in its Indian Library Association Bulletin. The Chattopadhyaya Committee report made 13 recommendations. They mainly covered the setting up of public libraries, particularly in rural areas, cooperation between village and school libraries, specialized services to handicapped and disabled persons, tribals, and minority communities, children, etc. They also recommended for the role in distance education, structured library system with state central library at the apex, and establish a formal network among various units, a model public library bill, and a role of RRLF as a national agency for consideration of library services was also included. Empowered Committee. The Department of Culture, Government of India appointed an Empowered Committee in November 1986, again under the chairmanship of Professor D.P. Chattopadhyaya, to lay down a program of action for the implementation of the recommendations made in the policy statement. This committee submitted its report in April 1988. Next is the working group. The Department of Culture found that the certain recommendations made by the Empowered Committee were difficult to implement. It constituted a working group under the chairmanship of Ms. Komal Anand, the then Secretary of Department of Culture, with President ILA as a member. The working group considered the recommendations of the Empowered Committee and made in all 21 recommendations which deemed to have been accepted by the Department of Culture. Developments in late 1990s. Fifth Pay Commission. Fifth Pay Commission in its report made two significant recommendations of far-reaching consequence. Number one, giving right to information, and two, creation of information infrastructure in the country. National Knowledge Commission. Mr. Sam Pitroda presented a draft for creation of National Knowledge Commission to the Prime Minister in December 2004, and National Knowledge Commission was constituted in 2005 as a high-level advisory body to the Prime Minister of India with a mandate to guide policy and general framework. Working Group on Libraries. The Commission took as one of its first initiatives to review library services. It constituted a working group on libraries in April 2006. The recommendations made by this group were forwarded to the Prime Minister in December 2006. Important recommendations of this group are to set up a National Commission on Libraries, prepare a national census of all the libraries, revamp LIS education, reassess staffing of the libraries, set up a library fund, encourage community participation in library management, promote ICT in libraries, facilitate donations and maintenance of private collections, and encourage public-private partnership in the development of libraries and information centers. Next is National Mission on Libraries. The Ministry of Culture, Government of India has set up the National Mission on Libraries on 5th April 2012 with Professor Deepak Pental as chairman. The terms of reference of this mission include advising the Government of India on all library matters relating to the establishment of libraries and information centers, and preparing long-term plans and strategies, including preparation of a national policy and library and information systems for India. Establishing various standards pertaining to services and organizations, interacting with state governments, cooperative sector, philanthropic organizations, coordinating with various stakeholders like ministries, government departments, and quasi-governmental organizations, etc.